Howdy folks, this is Jared at Fluty Homestead, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. I know I ain't put out a video in a couple months, and I've had tons of people messaging and reaching out to me, wanting to know what's going on, where's the videos. So I'm gonna try to get back in the swing of them. So I just thought I'd get on here and show you what I've been into and some plans I've got coming up really soon. And I put a video out back in the last summer into the fall and saying, when my grandpa passed away. I just kind of was in a funk with that and didn't really feel like putting out many videos, and you all know how that goes. So anyway, I know a lot of people enjoy it, and I've had a lot of people asking and looking forward to them. So I'm gonna try to get back in the saddle, and I'm gonna take you now and just give you a little update of what I've been doing. Okay, one thing we've got going on here, I've got a man coming pretty soon with a bulldozer, and I'm going to be trading him a few logs for doing some dozer work for me. So we are going to be clearing out some of this. See all this brush behind me? I'm gonna try to have him brush this out right here, and behind the cellar, a lot of these trees you see behind me, I'm gonna take them out, try to get a bunch of the rocks out where I could actually bush hog this with the tractor if I need to. And if you come on around, you notice right here, my little outbuilding I had out here, I moved it, got it out of the way. We have more turning room. And out here where the red gate and those cars are, I'm gonna have all that little hump where I used to garden. I'm gonna have that hump pushed down and push it out in front of my house to give me some more level space here. And in my place, I have almost no level space. So that's the one big project around the house I've got getting ready to happen. And also you see here, I've been working on my house some. Got this wall completely chinked finally, looking a lot better. Got some of my siding stained, and getting ready to, I forgot to take them tags off. Getting ready to put some sheeting in the ceiling of my porch, and a few little odds and ends. I'm gonna take you down here towards the barn now. Beautiful evening here. It rained a little bit, but now it's cleared out. Nice, about 72 degrees. Also, been working on my roof. Remember I had that old red metal, and it's still on the house part, but I've been changing it out to, I think it's called Burmish slate, and it's a beautiful color, kind of a charcoaly brown. So that'll match my cabin a lot better than the red. So I'm gonna sell my red metal. You can see right there, it'll suit the cabin a whole lot better than that ever did. We're gonna take a little walk right here. I'm gonna show you what else we're into. Appreciate y'all that have stuck with my channel and have been watching it. Even when I haven't posted, I still get comments and people watching. And that means a lot to me. I appreciate that. Right here behind me, I'm gonna try to have all this brushed out. This is right in front of my house, and that'll give me a lot more grass right here. Now I'm gonna flip the camera around. We're gonna go right up here, and I'm gonna show you one more thing here. Then we'll go down by the barn and the garden. Okay, this is the little flat next to the old coal bank. This is one of the old coal banks I have. This is going up to my little bench. And I've started a little orchard out here. And I had purchased a few of these trees from Tractor Supply. And they are really leafing out and doing good. They're just young trees. This one here is Honeycrisp. I've got one Honeycrisp. And right here is an elderberry bush. Leafed out really nice. Should be blooming before too long. I started these trees along this road where it's easy for me to get to. Here we have a Fuji, and I tried to get varieties that would pollinate each other. So that's why I've selected some of these. This one, I actually bought it last year and kept it in a pot, and it was a little tree, but it's growing well. And now I'm going to show you some trees that a company sent me called Food Forest Nursery. And they reach out wanting to send me some trees and just to try them out and to tell y'all about them if they do good. Right here we have an enterprise apple tree, and I have a large enterprise apple tree down at my grandpa's house that I grafted years ago. It's a really good apple. It comes on in the fall. You see here, these are starting to leaf out really good, and I was worried when they sent me these. They shipped them to me on April the 1st, and they were in shipping for 17 days in a box. And they arrived, and I said, there's no way these things are going to do anything. But they were a little moist. I soaked them about 5 hours in the ditch where there's a little water. And you see here, this one is leafed out, and it's got some little buds coming out on the stalk here. So we have an enterprise, and right down here below it, I tried to plant these trees at least about 15 feet apart. We have a McIntosh apple tree, and I love McIntosh apples. They make really good pies. And it's made it. It's got leaves on it, and really happy for that. And again, I tried to get varieties that would all pollinate each other because I want a good crop with, you know, a few trees that I do have. We'll go on around here, trying to watch for snakes too. I ain't run into none yet this year. And this is a peach tree that I got from the Food Forest Nursery. And it is the only one so far that I haven't seen a leaf on yet. It's had some little buds on it, but they haven't came out, so I don't know if it's going to make it or not. I'm not sure about that yet. But if it don't, I'll reach out to Food Forest Nursery and let them know about it. It is called, well, this one don't say. I'll have to look at my tag what it was, but this was a peach tree, so I'm unsure about it. But this little corner of the pasture here, I'm going to make it my little orchard. I'm going to put a fence up, just a straight line up to that maple tree down, and keep the horse off of them. And then I've been letting this side grow. I've sowed some clover in here, and I've got some treetops out here I need to cut up. But I'm going to let this side grow this year and keep everything off of it. So we're going to walk right down here now, and I'll show you some other things I've got going. Okay, you can't really see them, but down here, this is kind of like the island, I would almost call it, between my two driveway sections. I have, you can kind of see a little stick right here sticking up, and it has leaves on it right here in front of you. I have two of these. These are American plum. I think they are a native plum. I have two of those, and I'm excited to see what these look like when they get bigger, but they've both survived. We'll walk right down here, and I'll show you my other trees. I think they sent me about 11 trees. I got to pick out what I wanted. Let's see, where did I put them at, is the question. I have two, here they are, and they have not budded leaves on them yet. This one hasn't. I have two pecan trees, and I don't know how a pecan tree will do around here. I don't know of anybody having any. But I have two little pecan trees, and this one has, I'll put it lower down here. This one has a little bud on the top, so hopefully it'll make it. And now we'll check. I got two more here, we'll check. They also sent me two elderberry sprouts and a raspberry sprout, and I've got them planted, and they're both looking good. Out here, I tried to plant these kind of on the edge of the wood line. I have two persimmon trees, wild persimmon trees, and I haven't looked at these since I planted them. But I do see a little tiny sprout right here coming out of the top. So I really hope these make it, because I really have been wanting, I've been wanting to have some persimmons, because I just think they're a beautiful tree, and I love the look of the fruit, and I know wildlife like them, and you know, a lot of people like to eat them. So anxious to see how they do. But I'll put a link to that Food Forest Nursery, and you can check them out if you want to. They give me a little code if you want to buy something, but I'm not pressuring anybody to, but I just wanted to show you what they sent me, and we're gonna give them a shot. Okay, now we're out here by my switchback on my road, and when the dozer man comes, this is where I keep some of my tractor equipment and stuff out here. The dozer man is going to do some brushing out here for me and make me a new pasture. We're going to start at this bench, and we're going to brush out everything. We're going to leave the bigger trees. There's a few white oaks I'm going to take out, but we're going to brush from that bench all the way down around the swag, down to the next bench, and all the way back around the holler there some. I'm really excited to get some of this dozing done. As you all know, I have all hillside, and I really need the grass, and it'll help me be able to raise cows or whatever I want to have, and it'll help the wildlife. You know, Finley loves to hunt, so it'll help it all, and it'll just be nice to have a little rolling grassy pasture. So now we're going to take a little walk back, and I'm going to show you some more stuff. Okay, some of you may know, some of you may not, but I sold my cows. You know, I sold my steer for somebody to have a beef. I still been eating on the last cow I killed. So I sold him, and then I decided, after what you all know, I had debated about this. I sold my mama cow and my heifer calf. And I just think my place needs a break for a year or so. Let me get my dozing done, some grass seed sowed, and I'm letting my other pasture grow. My horse, I've still got my grandpa's old horse, but he can't eat this whole place down. So I'm letting my place grow and go to seed and try to get my pastures built back up before I try the cows again. And I'm also going to build me a loading chute with a head gate so I can load them, deal with them, because it's been hard to load and unload cows without the proper equipment. Okay, you see here, out in my little pasture, my little hillside, since the cows have been gone, my grass in places here where there's been a lot of manure, it's really took off growing, and some of it's already getting seed heads on it. So that'll be really good. I'm gonna let that go to seed, and then let the seed fall, of course, and you know, it'll help reseed itself. And then I've been trying to come through now, and I'm gonna try to start getting the weeds took out of it. I know that's gonna be a job, and I know a lot of people don't want spray, but I may do a little bit of spraying, just spot spraying on some of my stickweed, because that is my major issue. But you see here, stickweeds coming up in here, but they're young still. So maybe I can either chop them out or spray them, whatever I need to do. But I'm gonna let this whole place go to seed. And you can see it needs it. This side, there's so many leaves, it's hard to get the grass to grow. But when the dozer man comes, I'm gonna have a little more of this brushed out in here, so this should help it. I've cut a few trees. I had some storm damaged trees I took out. But you can see there's not a whole lot of grass to start with, but letting it rest a little bit, I believe, is really gonna pay off for me. You know, that was a hard decision to get rid of the cows, because I really enjoyed fooling with them. And I just thought that it was best for them and for me to just take a break from the cows for a while, long enough to get my place worthy to have cows. And the next one we get, I may start out raising just a steer to eat, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what kind of pasture I get going once my dozing is done and the grass comes up good. But I mean, I'm sure just like anybody else that starts, you know, with a little farm or something, you get excited and you want to buy something, and then you get you a cow or a goat or whatever it is before you're really ready for it. And that's kind of what I've done. You know, I got the cow, and then one cow led to two cows, and before you know it, you really have more than what you can handle. So I'm going to try to take care of my place and then get the cows so I can have the best availability of grass for them. And you know, it's just an injustice to them if I'm not prepared to take care of them the way I should. So that's what I've done, and I think it's going to pay off in the long run. Well, you look how pretty these mountains are getting behind me here. That right there is one mountain over from West Virginia. West Virginia is right across that mountain, is the Tug River. Looking pretty out through there. we're gonna walk down here towards the barn. Got a few more neat things to show y'all. I'll show you right here. Well, look at how thick the grass is coming up here where I fed the cows all winter. Lots of new grass coming up. And I don't know how to get rid of it without spraying it, but I've got tons of this buttercup that I need to get rid of. Pawpaw trees have bloomed heavy this year, and the blooms is about gone now, but we had lots of pawpaw blooms. You look at all them pawpaw trees, all them little bushes you see here in the pasture is all pawpaw trees. Had some excavator work here, got my driveway smoothed out a little. Hay rack is done good. Need to get that hay out of there now. My bee swarm is doing really good. I caught one swarm of bees from my hive here behind me, and they are really doing good. And I've got to get them into a larger box now. I made this swarm trap box, and it had 5 empty frames in it. And they've been in there a couple weeks now, so I'm sure they've got that comb drawed out, and I've been making some stores in there. So we're gonna have to get them into a full-size hive and get them moved to the bee yard. Okay, here's Finley's little chicken house. We finally built him a little chicken coop, and it's almost done. I need to trim around the door, put some little trim around it and spruce it up, and I'm gonna put some soffit boards around, make it pretty. But we'll go in here and I'll show you his little flock. Gotta fix my lock, or Finley's lock. And here's Finley's pretty little hens. They are doing so good. And we got a white rooster from our neighbor. And there's his little Baney rooster back there. We hatched, you know, with the guinea. But they're doing wonderful. Been laying, every one of them's been laying every day. We get one little blue egg from this little girl back here. And we get some brown eggs and cream colored eggs. So we've got to build him a little coop on the back now. We fixed a door back here, but we've got to build a little run for him so we can let him out without fully free ranging. Or, you know, we can free range him when we're around, but we have a lot of hawk trouble. Finley sure is proud of his chickens. He's been doing really good taking care of them. I help him water them and stuff, but he makes sure they have food, and he gathers his eggs every day. So we're gonna come through the barn, and now I'm gonna show you our little garden update of what we have so far. Okay, here is the first of the garden. I've got one more patch we're gonna grow this year. And you notice we cut down some trees here. I had a maple tree right here where this stump is that was giving me a lot of shade. I cut it down, and the one right here by the house, I cut it down as well. And it was giving me a lot of shade. And that's why my garden is kind of late, because I wanted to get them trees out, and I finally got them. So now, this is what we have so far. I think we got 16 tomato plants. We got some cabbage and broccoli. And I had to put these wire baskets on them because the guinea was eating the cabbage. And I had never had a guinea bother a plant before. But my little guinea about wiped me out. So we have some cabbage, tomatoes, peppers, and we have some corn down here planted. This year I decided to not cover my whole garden in the landscape fabric from Grower Solution, but I just have my tomatoes on it. This, where it's still kind of a new patch, still has so many rocks. I want to take 1 year to hoe it and till it normal and throw rocks out and see how I like it like that. It needs a little bit of work still. So I'm going to just grow my tomatoes on the fabric and see how they do. I know they'll do good on it, but I want to improve this garden all I can this year. And also, right here on this corner, this is Finley's garden. Finley has, this is his beans. He planted them. He has 2 tomato plants and some lettuce over here and some onions. and he has a little watermelon patch. So this is his. He's planted it, and he's going to take care of it, and he's going to do all the work in it. So I think that's a great start for a 7-year-old little boy. All right, you can see here, Finley has a few rattlesnake beans coming up. They're popping out of the ground a little bit. He planted about 6 or 8 seeds around each pole, and I think about all of them is sprouting. And he has, I think he planted a Beefmaster tomato and a celebrity tomato. And his little lettuce is starting to come up. And he's got a few onions popping out of the ground. Down here, we're going to be planting some beans in these 3 rows. Excuse me. Down here on the end, I planted 4 rows of Silver Queen corn. And I don't know how good the corn will do here in this garden yet. I've never grew corn here, but we're going to give it a shot. You see here, you look at all these rocks. Every time we come through here, we throw a rock out, but it's going to take a while to get the rocks out. But the soil is much looser this year than it was last year even, so it's getting better every year. I've been putting manure on it and, been burning some leaves on it and so forth. Well, that's about all I've got for you today, but I just wanted to come on here and make you a new video, show you what I've been doing, give you a little update, and try to start from here. And don't know how many videos I'll put out, but I'll at least try to get out 1 a week if I can or more. I'd love to build back up to 2 or 3 a week, but it's hard when you have kids and families to run into ball games and stuff and working. So we'll just do what we can do, and appreciate y'all so much for always sticking with me, and appreciate y'all watching and commenting. Love reading your comments, and enjoy the emails and stuff I get. So I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and hope you have a very blessed day.